Good day, everyone. My name is Sherwin Anthony A. living in Barangay Inalad, Chaton Negros Oriental, studying in Negros Oriental State University, Chaton Campus. And my topic for today is in Unit 4, which are Special Education Program and Inclusion Program, which is part of learning resources and instructional accommodations. But first, I will read you the objectives of my report. So, at the end of the discussion, the students are able to define special education program and inclusion program, analyze the importance of special education program and inclusion program, apply principles of special education program and inclusion program in promoting amiable learning environment. But before that, do you have any idea what special education program and inclusion program? Okay. So, special education, also called special needs education, the education of children who differ socially, mentally, or physically from the average to such an extent that they require modifications of usual school practices. Special education serves children with emotional, behavioral, or cognitive impairments or intellectual hearing vision, speech, or learning disabilities. Gifted children with advanced academic abilities and children with orthopedic or neurological impairment. So the importance of special education program or SPED is to help every student with disabilities to have a chance to learn and showcase their own talents and intelligence. So, Pedro Ponce de Leon in the mid-1500s succeeded in teaching deaf pupils in Spain to speak, read, and write. It is assumed that his methods were followed by Juan Pablo Bonet, who in 1620 published the first book on the subject. So si Pedro Ponce de Leon, nagsucceed siya sa iyang teaching methods sa mga deaf sa Spain. Dayong because of that successful method, gisuhid ni Juan Pablo Bonet, who in 1620 published the first book on the subject. And now let's proceed to patterns of instruction adaptation. The goals of special education are similar to the educational goals for ordinary children. Only the techniques for attaining them are different. So the goal of special education is to teach all children with special needs, except those unable to profit at all from experience, to read. Now, let's proceed to another topic, which is inclusion program. Inclusion is seen as a universal human right. The aim of inclusion is to embrace all people irrespective of race, gender, disability, medical, or other need. It is about giving equal access and opportunities and getting rid of discrimination and intolerance or removal of barriers. Inclusion in education refers to a model wherein students with special needs spend most or all their time with non-special needs students. Inclusion education program is defined as a learning environment that promotes the full personal, academic, and professional development of all learners irrespective of race, class, color, gender, disability, sexual preferences, learning styles, and language. In inclusion program, there are educational point of view, principles of inclusive education, and need and importance. So in educational point of view, the needs of all students are met, preparing them for life. Teachers improve their professional skills. Society takes conscious decisions to operate according to social views. So ang educational point of view will help students to prepare themselves from their future endeavor and will help them to improve their skills. Well, in principles of inclusive education, no discrimination with students, equal educational opportunity to all, school adapt to the need of the student, equal educational benefits for all students, individual differences between students are a source of richness and diversity and not a problem. So, ang principle of inclusive education promotes inclusivity and give opportunity to students and help and give them the needs that can benefit them. While in need and importance, it is for the development of healthy citizenship, for social equality, self-reliant, developing feeling of self-respect, and lastly, for achieving the universalization. So now let's proceed to the comparison between inclusive education and traditional education. So in inclusive education is education for all, flexible individualized teaching, learning in integrated settings, emphasis on learning, child-centered, holistic approach, equalization of opportunities, curricular view planning is made on ability, label free, while in traditional education is just for some, static or rigid, collective teaching, emphasis on teaching, subject centered, diagnostic, opportunity limited by exclusion, disability view, disability wise, and labels children. So as you can see, you can really differentiate the differences between inclusive education and traditional education, because in inclusive education, um, as you can see, is for all or para ni sa tanan, even if you're disabled or sa pamangkadaya, because it really promotes inclusivity, while ang traditional education is for some rajud siya. And that's end my report. I hope you have learned a lot with my report, and um, thank you for listening. Goodbye.